By day, Lantern Hill looked ordinary enough, if you ignored the way the road curved away from it, as though rethinking the decision halfway through. The hill rose behind Briar's reach like a low, watchful shoulder, crowned by 6 iron lampposts that hadn't worked properly in decades. Their glass was varicose with age, bubbled and yellow. Ivy strangled their bases. Rust gnawed every seam. No one went up there after dark anymore. No one but the caretaker. That job had been Martin's father's, and his father's before that. Now it had fallen, inconveniently and without instruction, to Martin. He was supposed to keep the lights alive, according to the brittle note his father left in the will. No explanation, just that stuttering line, repeated once on the back in shaking ink. Keep the lights alive, like the lamps were lungs, like the hill might die without them. Or, Martin thought as he climbed with his toolbox the first night, like something kept beneath the hill was holding its breath. The town stretched below, a scatter of sodium orange and bedroom blue behind thin curtains. Up here the air felt wrong, thinner, as if something had been scooped out of it. When Martin exhaled, he could see his breath even though it was late summer. It drifted up in a pulse, then shivered sideways toward the nearest lamp, dissolving against its grimy glass. Only 3 of the 6 lamps worked, and their light was a sick, guttering yellow that barely touched the grass. The other 3 stood black and hollow, mouths without tongues. His father had always carried a ring of old brass keys. Martin found them in the bottom drawer, heavy as if they resented being moved. One slid into a hatch on the first dead post with an almost relieved click. Inside he expected wiring, maybe a bird's nest. Instead, there was only a narrow shaft descending into stone dark, colder than the air around his fingers. From somewhere far below came a wet, patient sound, like a tongue slowly tasting the inside of a well. He told himself it was groundwater. He told himself there were reasonable explanations for the iron stink that puffed from the shaft, for the way his skin prickled, as if every hair remembered something his mind did not. Martin fitted a new bulb into the glass housing, fingers clumsy with sweat, then hesitated at the switch. His father's note pressed against his thigh inside his pocket, its folded corners softened by constant checking. When he flipped the switch, the lamp did not simply turn on. Light knifed downward first, a narrow spine vanishing into the shaft. For a moment the earth seemed to digest it, swallowing the glow one vertebra at a time. Then, reluctantly, the bulb above his head bloomed. The grass around the post stiffened, blades rising like tiny, startled animals. From the town, a dog began to howl, long and breaking. Martin moved to the second dead lamp. As he unlocked its hatch, all 3 working posts hissed in unison, brightening as if inhaling. Something in the dark below the hill shifted, turning over in its sleep, scuffing against the stone with enormous indifference. By the time he reached the final lamp, the sky above Briar's reach had thickened into a single low bruise. The stars went out one by one, as if embarrassed to be seen. The town's streetlights flickered in sympathetic stammers, a nervous echo of the hill. Martin's phone had died an hour ago, though the battery had shown 60%. Up here, time felt narrower, pressed between the slow, wet breathing under the soil and the electric heartbeats of the lamps. He opened the last hatch. This shaft descended farther than the others. He knew that without seeing the bottom, the way one knows when a stair is missing. Cold rolled out, slick and delighted. For the first time, he heard something like a voice, not words exactly, but the shape of being noticed. It rose from below with the thick, steady certainty of floodwater. "Keep the lights alive," the note had said. With all 6 burning, Martin finally understood. The hill was not a place but a lid. The lamps were its nails. And tonight, for the first time in years, whatever waited underneath was fully awake, counting every fragile, trembling bulb.